Good morning, students of level 6 of Falcon House Grammar School Campus 9. This is Mashaal here, and today we're basically going to be continuing from where we left from the last session. We basically were talking about Earth's landforms. Earth's landforms. So we basically did mountains and hills. So today we're basically going to be talking about plateau. Okay, page number 39, plateau. Now, what is a plateau? Okay, how is it formed and what is its shape? We're going to be looking at it today. So plateau is basically a raised platform. Okay, a raised platform on the earth, which is basically flat on top. What does it mean? Basically, it's a high level ground. Okay, it's a high level ground. Not ये थोड़ा सा ज़मीन से ऊपर होता है, but it's basically flat on top. Now, it is the most extensive form of a land in the world. क्या मतलब इस बात को? What does it mean? It basically means that Earth is the majority of Earth is basically covered with plateau. Almost we're given a percentage here. It says up to 45% of Earth's land surface is basically covered by plateau. Almost all of Australia, almost 2/3. In fact, it says 2/3 of Australia is covered by a plateau called Western Plateau, whereas 25% of China is covered with Tibetan Plateau. Okay. Now, how is a plateau formed? Now, basically, we are told that plateaus are basically unbroken, and they're basically high pieces of land with being flat on top. Now, majority of them are unbroken pieces of land. I mean, they stretch for a very large area. However, some of the plateaus are basically cut in between, okay, or eroded away by wind or water. And this process takes millions of years, but you see some plateaus which are basically cut in between, and that is basically done either by a river or by a wind. We have an example of Grand Canyon Plateau. Grand Canyon Plateau is in America. It's one of the most famous sites in America. Okay, it's a high-rise plateau. It's basically cut away by Colorado River, and you can basically see multiple layers of rock. Okay, so it's basically high-rise plateaus all around, but in between you would see a low level area, which was basically once Colorado River. Now it's dried up. Okay, so basically plateau ये होता है. इसको इस तरीके से फिर wind और river erode करके जो है ना बीच में से जगह बनाते हैं इसकी. All right, now we are told plateaus are very, very old. Now, some of the plateaus, like Western Plateau in Australia, is more than 500 million years old. So you can imagine how old it must be. Now, what we are basically also told about the roof of the world. What is the roof of the world? Basically, it's the most highest and the most extensive plateau in the world. It's called Tibetan Plateau. Okay, by extensive it means the largest plateau in the world. It stretches from one place to another, okay, in a very large manner, largest as compared to all other plateaus. Okay, so it contains the highest mountains in the world, like for example Mount Everest and K2. Both of them lie at Tibetan Plateau. Okay, it has 14 mountains that rise above 8,000 meters and 100 of mountains which are above 7,000 meters. So that's why it's called roof of the world, because you actually see the highest mountains, highest plateaus, in fact the highest mountains at Tibetan Plateau. Okay, we are also told that then again this plateau is cut by a river called Yarlung Zangbao River. Okay, and because it's cut by it basically has basically caused a deep narrow valley, which is called Yarlung Zangbao Grand Canyon, which is the deepest canyon in the world. Okay, we are also told that Tibetan Plateau is still active, okay, and it still continues to grow around 0.1 centimeter in height every year. So that's amazing, that plateaus actually rise in height continuously, such as Tibetan Plateau, which rises about 0.1 centimeter every year. Okay, so this is what plateau is, and this is what the significance of a plateau is. Okay, we're going to talk about plain as well. In fact, let's talk about plain in the next video, because then we're going to be talking about valley as well, and that would be it. So let's just talk about Plateau today. This is what we're going to be doing. I hope you've understood everything that I was trying to tell you. I want you guys to read it by yourself as well, and please, in the Q&A session, I want you guys to read it and then come and ask me questions in the Q&A session. Okay, so I hope you've understood it. Again, if you have any questions, you can always get back to me, Q&A session, and other than that, you can always ask me on WhatsApp. All right, take care everyone then. Allah Hafiz.